Majestic to you.
So welcome everyone to the Barnes & Noble book reading. This is the story of Louis. It's a story of the philosopher Ludwig Feuerbach for juniors. So let's get started. Once upon a time, a boy was born in Germany. His name was Ludwig Feuerbach, but everyone called him Louis. His dad taught law at a college, and his mom and when he was a little kid, Louis was very close to God. But when he became a big kid, he read a book by a man named Hegel, and after reading this book, Louis started not to believe in God. Now this guy Hegel, he thought that there was always a conflict between two ideas within people. For example, your mom and dad say that you need to eat your vegetables, but they taste icky, so what do? Hegel would say that once you figure out who is right, your parents or you've become smarter and have increased your reasoning. Because Louis was inspired by Hegel's book, we call him a Hegelian thinker. And that's a photo of Hegel. When Louis went off to college, he left his house and went to a town in Germany called Heidelberg, where he studied philosophy, or the love of wisdom. Before he finished college, he had to write a really long essay about how people are based off of physical things. This made him unpopular with people who believed in God, because he was saying that humans weren't based off of spiritual or religious things, but on factual or real things. When he was finished with college, Louis became a teacher. He taught philosophy at a college in Germany and wrote a few books. One book that was written made a lot of people angry because it said that people who believed in God thought of themselves as being more important than people who didn't believe in God. The principal of the school where Louis worked asked him if he wrote the book, but Louis didn't say anything. The principal thought that because Louis didn't say anything, he had written the book, so he was fired. The area of philosophy that Louis mainly wrote about was called metaphysics, or the study of undefinable subjects such as being, knowing, substance, cause, identity, time, or space. Louis focused a lot of his attention on the knowing and identity aspects of metaphysics, and he addressed these ideas in books such as Preliminary Theses on the Reform of Philosophy and Principles of the Philosophy of the Future. In these works, Louis wrote that humans interact with the world through their bodies and senses. He also said that the essence of humanity is in community. Louis continued by saying that the mind and the body are just two parts of an organism, and that this organism is fueled by an overwhelming drive for fulfillment of needs and desires. You may be wondering what this means because it's a lot of big words. Basically what Louis is saying is that because we're humans, we have needs that need to be fulfilled. And we've got two types of needs. There's the food type of needs that we need to physically survive, and then there's the needs like the need to be loved, or the need for material possessions, which make us happy. And Louis was saying that the organism needs to be fueled by these needs in order to be truly happy and to be able to survive. Around this time, Louis married a rich lady who owned a factory in Germany. He didn't have to work anymore, so he went to live with her in the mountains. Louis was doing a lot of writing and became well known among philosophers. It was while living in the mountains that Louis wrote the book that turned him into a celebrity in the world of philosophy. The book was called The Essence of Christianity. In the book, Louis wrote about many things. He said that because humans can and do think about things, thoughts are what make people human. He then realized that if God thinks, then God must be human. Louis said that all the things that make humans great were also the things that made God great. He said that humans need to make God great because if he is not, then God wouldn't be anything special. The unknown bugs me. The guy is thinking, and he's thinking that, well, it says the unknown bugs me. And what Louis was saying was that if God thought, then God showed a sign of humanness, and so God had to be a human. Because God is human, and because humans give God his qualities, Louis said in his book that God is a human invention. As you can imagine, this made a lot of people very angry. When he had finished writing his book, Louis went back to Heidelberg to give a speech to college students about his book. The principal of the school, however, was still mad at him and didn't let him go to the school. So Louis instead gave his speech at the Heidelberg Town Hall, where he was able to teach students some of his ideas. Afterwards, he went back to live in the mountains with his wife. That's a very sad thing. In 1860, the factory that Louis' wife owned ran out of money. Louis and his wife were kicked out of their house and had to live on the streets of the city, and they didn't have enough money to buy food or a house. And in 1872, Louis died. This would be the end of the story, but Louis' work went on to influence many other important thinkers. One person that was inspired by Louis' writing was a man named Karl Marx. Marx ended up creating an idea that was used by important countries such as Russia and China. Without Louis' work, Karl may not have come up with this idea. That is the end of our story. Do you guys have any questions?
Questions? Questions? No.
You don't wonder anything about Louis?
Alright.
Tough crowd.
Okay.
No, I'm good.